Good day to you. I'm Jia Yen. So I would like to presenting the factors affecting the sustainability of women-led startups in developing countries. So imagine that there's a young woman who in Malaysia and launched a small online boutique. And she's full of ideas, motivated, and ready to make a mark. But after 2 years, she struggles to keep the business running. For example, the funds run out and the support is scarce and digital tools are underutilized. So these scenarios capture the essence of my research proposal. So I want to understand what helps women entrepreneurs survive and thrive despite these challenges. Alright, so now let's move on to the topic overview. Okay, so women-led startups are engines of economic growth. They create jobs, spark innovations, and diversify the markets. But many fail within the first few years. Why? It's really because the entrepreneur isn't capable. Often external barriers like restrictive policy, weak networks, or limited access to the finance create an irreversible loss. So my study aims to identify the key internal and external factors that determine whether a woman-led startups can survive and flourish in developing countries. Alright, so now continue with the research problem and objective. So the central question is which factors most influence the sustainability of women-led startups in developing countries. So in order to answer these questions, I focus on 3 objectives, which is the first one, how do financial resources and human capital impact sustainability? Okay, we think of the finance as the fuel and skills as the engine of a startup. And for the second objective is how do social networks and institutional support help women navigate the challenges. So we consider networks as act like a bridge. So they connecting the entrepreneurs to opportunities and advice. So come to the last one is evaluate the role of digital technology adoption, which means like how does digital technology adoption contribute to the survival. So like digital tools sometimes can open doors to new markets and also like the streamline operations, right? Yeah. So normally they can help the women list up business can operate more smoothly and so on and so forth. Alright, and now move on to the theoretical framework. So basically I'm using a multi-theory framework to guide this research. The first is resources-based view, which is REV. So internal resources like finance and skills are the building blocks for survival. And the second one is the social capital theories. The networks are the inversible threads that connect entrepreneurs to mentorship, customers, and partners. So the third one is institutional theories. Is a policy and cultural norms shape the possibilities of success. Sometimes it's enabling, sometimes constraining. So the fourth one is self-determination theories, is SDT, is motivation and persistence act as like the internal compass, helping entrepreneurs navigating the uncertainty. The last one, we go to the technology acceptance models, TAM. Using digital tools effectively can turn small business into the scalable ventures. So we combining all these theories helps me capture the full ecosystem that affects sustainability. Alright, so for research methodologies, to get a full picture, I'm using a mixed methods approach. So like for the quantitative, I will survey 150 to 200 women entrepreneurs in Malaysia, Indonesia, and Vietnam. This will give a measurable insight into finance, skills, networks, institutional support, and digital adoption. And for the qualitative, I will conduct 10 to 15 interviews to hear personal stories, like how they overcame the barriers, what motivated them, and what challenges they still face. So this combination allows me to connect numbers with real experience, creating a richer understanding of sustainability. Alright, so for the last part of my presentation will be the expected contributions. These studies has both academic and practical significance. So now let's talk about the academical part. So it integrates the multiple theories to provide a unified framework to explain the sustainabilities for women-led startups, which is like a gap in current literatures. So for the practical side, the findings can guide policy makers, investors, and incubators to design a better program and interventions. Supporting the women entrepreneurs doesn't just help individuals, it strengthens communities and create jobs and can drive the inclusive economic growth. So think of it as giving these women the tools, reach, and fields that need to turn their small startups into sustainable engines of progress. Okay. Alright, so before ending the presentation, I would like to give the conclusion. So, in conclusion, supporting the woman-led startup isn't just a business issue, it's a social and economic opportunities. By identifying the factors that drive sustainability, this research can help women overcome barriers, thrive in their ventures, and contribute to the growth of the economy, for the growth of the developing economics. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you for your attention.